Good morning, everyone. Our Advent season is moving along very nicely. We're up to the second Sunday of Advent already. And our readings, especially our first reading, focuses on the prophet Isaiah. Isaiah is the prophet of the Advent season. Every year we hear readings from Isaiah because he's the one who speaks of the coming Messiah. He's the one who encourages us to live in a spirit of hope. There is a tendency today to interpret the Bible personally. And there's nothing wrong with that. But at times, the readings that we hear on weekends is meant to be interpreted on a far larger scale. To give you an example of what I'm talking about, when we read of Jesus healing the blind and the lame and the dumb, immediately we give it a personal twist. We think of ourselves, or we think of people who are sick and who are in need of healing, and we pray for healing for ourselves or for these persons. But at times the reference is much broader. Our families also need healing, our communities, our country, and indeed the world that we live in is also in need of healing. And we must always remember that Jesus, in response to a question that was asked of him, said, "Render unto Caesar what is Caesar's, and unto God what is God's." So we do have some political obligations. How we interpret these obligations is another matter. Our first reading from Isaiah throws a lot of light on this matter. Isaiah is writing at a time of great national distress. The kingdom of Judah, where he was located, was under threat from Israel and from Syria. And King Ahaz, who was the ruling king at that time, the ruling political figure, against the advice of Isaiah, decided to form an alliance with the Assyrians. Isaiah wanted the king to rely on God alone, not on any sort of outside help. And this is so typical of us. In times of trouble, we always look for the easiest way out. But the easiest way out is not always the right way. Isaiah keeps repeating over and over the same theme. Trust in the Holy One of Israel. God will forgive your transgressions and deliver you from your enemies. 8 times in Isaiah, he advises the people to wait on the Lord, wait on the Lord, wait on the Lord. Now, when things are not going well with us, when we are in trouble, the last thing we want to do is to hear the word wait. We want an immediate solution. We don't have time to wait. But in very large measure, one of the themes of the Advent season is this whole issue of waiting on God and not resorting to short-term measures, not taking shortcuts. In his own time and in his own way, God will come through for us. Just wait. And he will come through for us not only personally, but also on a larger scale as well. He will come through for our families, he will come through for our communities, and he will come through on a national scale as well. Remember Isaiah, remember the Messiah does not only have a personal reference. In many ways, this world that we live in is also in need of salvation. And Isaiah draws a very beautiful picture. He puts flesh on that whole concept of waiting on God. He speaks of a time when our world will be ruled by justice and peace. Can you imagine that? Our world ruled by justice and peace. We have never known that in the history of mankind. These two qualities are sorely lacking in the world that we live in today. Our ruler, according to Isaiah, and I'm quoting directly from him, will be filled with a spirit of wisdom and understanding, a spirit of counsel and strength, a spirit of knowledge and fear of the Lord, and his delight shall be the fear of the Lord. Can you think of any ruler today that has these qualities? We need to really pray for our political leaders. We don't pray sufficiently for them. They need wisdom, they need understanding, they need counsel, they need strength and courage, and they certainly need fear of the Lord. And we must pray for that, as I said. Isaiah draws a very beautiful picture of what this world will look like. He speaks of the wolf, which will be guest of the lamb, and the leopard shall lie down with the kid. The calf and the young lion shall browse together, and a little child will guide them. It sounds very idealistic, but this is what Isaiah says. We have to wait on God's messianic reign to be inaugurated. We will never have complete happiness and peace and justice in today's world, but we have to wait on that time to come. And the picture is truly amazing, a time of peace, a time of justice and togetherness as we have never imagined before. What a wonderful message on this second Sunday of Advent. God invites us to share this message of hope with all people, that in his own time he will make things right again. Meanwhile, let us live in expectation and hope as we await the Lord. Have a happy happy Advent weekend. May God bless you abundantly. Amen.